and then you will start. Yes, you can go on. Good luck.
Okay, thank you. Right. Hello and welcome to our presentation here. My name is Daniela Becht. I'm at the Student Advisory Services at Hochschule München, University of Applied Sciences. And I would like to represent the university here and give you an insight on how to study at our institution. So first, some facts and figures, and I hope you can see my screen. Or do I still have to share it? Right, so we are the biggest University of Applied Sciences in Bavaria with about 18,000 students at the moment. That might sound quite a lot, but compared to the big universities in Munich, the Technical University and Ludwig Maximilians, with about 50,000 students each, we're still a rather small institution. We have roughly 50 bachelor degrees and about the same amount of master degree courses at the moment, and about 500 professors and 700 associate lecturers teaching our students. We're located in Munich. We have three main areas. The main campus is in Lotstraße. You can see the red cube. That's also our logo. Really very central in Munich. There's two campus and there's one a little bit outside for two large departments, but it's all easily reached by public transport. So what is the difference from a University of Applied Sciences to a normal research university? One point is that you will be in smaller groups and have a very structured schedule. So even in the large degrees where we have about 200 people starting every semester, you will be in a study group of 40 or 50 other students, and you will have a set schedule with your 6 modules every week, and we tell you what to do when. So it's fairly structured, which is nice, especially in the first 2 or 3 semesters when you're still finding your way here. As we're a University of Applied Sciences, we put a lot of emphasis on practical tutorials, or if you're in the engineering subjects, on work in laboratory, so that you really learn the application of the science and not only the theory. Part of this approach is the practical semester. I'll show you soon that you have one semester where you're not at university, but where you're working in a company, and that's mandatory for nearly all of our study courses. For developing your soft skills, we have a career center where you can take workshops in negotiation skills or just refresh your Excel skills. So there's a nice choice. And for elective courses, we have a whole department of general studies. All applicants have to take a minimum of 2 elective courses that are not related to their subject area, because we want you to have a broader view and not only look at your subject alone. And last not least, if you want to have an international year abroad or semester abroad, we have many partnerships within Europe, also outside Europe, a few places. So that's usually really supported in every degree that you spend some time abroad if you want to. Of course, it's not mandatory. So the main difference really is that we're placing the emphasis on the application of the science of what you learn and not so much on the research. So what does your bachelor look like? You have usually first 4, sometimes 5 semesters of basic foundation studies where you will be taught the basics in your study area. Then you have 1 semester, as I mentioned, in a practical term, mandatory, and usually it's about 5 months that you really work in a company. It's not only like a little internship, but you're really supposed to work with projects within the company and really do something there. You usually also get paid for this work. Part of the practical experience is that you have to find a practical place yourself. You will get some support by ideas where to apply, but on the whole, you have to find your place and apply for it yourself. In the last 2 semesters, you can usually choose specialized modules where you have some freedom of choice from a little catalog offered by the department, and you write your bachelor thesis at the end. So after 7 semesters, you're done with your bachelor degree. If you go to a research university, it's 6 semesters. 3 years with us, it's 3.5 years. You can also do a master course in most of our degrees. This is usually 3 semesters. If you graduate from our university, then you have 3 semesters in the bachelor, in the master. If you come from another university, we'll have to see if you've done a practical semester. If you have, then it's 3 semesters. Otherwise, you have to make up for it with the within the degree. Now I see the first question, how does Praxis semester fit into the diploma? Yes, you get your 30 ECTS points for it at the end of our degree. At the end of your bachelor degree, after 7 semesters, you have 210 ECTS points. If you're coming from a university, you only have 180 because you're missing the 30 ECTS from your Praxis semester. You have to write a report and hand in something about it, but as a rule, you get 30 ECTS points for it, just as if you sit all your exams in another semester. Right, so this is how you study. Let's have a look at what you can study at Hochschule München. The main focus, as you can see here, is on the engineering. That's really 65-67% of your of our offer here is in the area of engineering. We have a large department for business studies and one for applied social sciences. And we have a small, but we think really nice department for design, where you can study design. For those of you who have an artistic interest, that might be an option. I will now not be able to tell you in detail about our 50 bachelor degrees. I'll just give you an overview of what kind of subjects you can expect from our University of Applied Sciences. So the main focus, again, is engineering, and you can study 3 different areas in construction science. That's classical architecture, civil engineering, and facility management. Then general engineering is mechanical or electrical engineering, mechatronics, or general computer science. So if you have just an interest in engineering, in mechanics or electricity, then one of these degrees would be suitable for you. However, if you already have kind of a more specialized interest, let's say you're interested in electrical engineering, but you think regenerative energy is the future, then you can study electrical engineering with a focus on regenerative energy. It's an own bachelor degree. The first 2 semesters are basic electrical engineering, and then you have a specialization in solar and wind energy. Also automotive engineering, if you think mechanical engineering is nice, but you really are into cars, then you can from the beginning do automotive engineering or aerospace engineering. We also have many other specialized degrees, like something like paper technology or geoinformatics and satellite navigation. So I'm just encourage you to look at the smaller degrees as well, and not only the big mechanical engineering and computer science, but if you have special interest, have a look. The chances that we have a degree matching that are not too bad. We also have many interdisciplinary degree courses that combine 2 areas, like engineering and science. That would be chemical engineering or bioengineering. We have many degrees in engineering and business, either computer science and business or business and engineering. And there's 1 degree in computer science and design. So, even if you say, well, yes, one aspect is nice, but I want to have a more varied study course, then there are quite a few interdisciplinary courses open for you. Question about availability in English, I'll come to in a minute. Let me maybe just show you the overview of your degree. Well, let's say you're doing informatic, computer science. This is in German because most of our degree courses are taught in German. You can see 6 modules per semester. That's the average that you have. 4 semesters, the basics. The light blue is computer science. The dark blue is maths. And you see it's anything, a very broad approach to anything connected to computer science, technical, but also theoretical informatics, software engineering, but also software architecture. And of course, you have a large basis in mathematics here that you have to go through. Again, the 5th semester is the practical semester. And then you can see here Vertiefung Informatik. That just means your specialization, where you can choose electives from the degree program on offer. And this is how most of our degree courses would work. You do the basics, you have your practical term, you can choose from specialized subjects in the end. And of course, you finish the whole degree with a bachelor thesis. Now, out of all these degrees, we only offer 2 bachelor degrees taught in English. The rest is all taught in German. The 2 degrees taught in English, and they're very new. They only started this winter semester, International Management and Digital Engineering. It's a bachelor in engineering, and we'll have a look at the program straight away. And then engineering, physics, and data science. The language of teaching is English, and you need an English language certificate at level B2 for these. And they will ask you to learn some basic German outside your normal study program within the first 2 years. It's A2 or B1, depending on the course. So, without any German, getting around in Germany and finding a work placement or anything is really difficult, because it's still expected that you at least have a basis in German. So you will be asked to learn this outside your normal schedule. Application for these 2 degrees is only possible in the winter semester. Other degrees are also offered in summer, for example, mechanical or electrical engineering, but those 2 have 1 application time a year for the winter semester. Now, especially with the international management, don't be fooled by international management. It's not only a business degree. If you look at it here, everything in yellow is engineering. So you see, especially in the first 4 semesters, it's half or more of your degree program is really mechanical engineering. You can see computer-aided design and construction. You can see data structures and algorithms, physics, machine components, electricity, chemistry, technical mechanics. So it's really an engineering degree with more business than usual. The business parts is only the blue bits, so it's not that much. It's about 60% of the degree is engineering. Part of it is the combination of engineering and business, and you only have very few straight business and accounting subjects. So everyone thinking about taking this degree, please be aware that it's an engineering degree, and your degree at the end is in engineering and not in business. And your focus is how to digitize engineering and mechanical engineering, how to make it more digital, use smart machines, and how to implement this within an organization. Basically, that's what you're doing here. It's an engineering degree. Engineering, physics, and data science, that's exactly what it what it does on the name. You have a lot of science basics and engineering basics, and quite a bit of computer science in it as well. So that's really a degree for people interested in science and engineering, and in the application of data science in the field of engineering. Those are the only 2 degrees that we offer that are taught completely in English. Everything else, also what I'm going to talk about now, is taught in German, and you need German language level B2 in order to get into the courses. So business, we have 1 large department in business administration, but only 2 degrees, so that will be faster than what we had before. The main degree is, of course, a straightforward business administration course. We'll have a look at it soon. And we have another degree in tourism management. The other 2 degrees that are here is the engineering and management. International management and digital engineering is part of this department, but there are 2 or 3 more degrees where you have management and engineering with a focus on the engineering. And then we have two degrees in information and management systems, Wirtschaftsinformatik, where you have about half of your degree in business and the other half in computer science and informatic. So, what do you do in the degree in business administration? The first 3 semesters are the basics in accounting, math, marketing, anything. So it really gives you a fairly nice insight into many different parts of the area of business studies. It's not only accounting, and it's not only marketing, and it's not only human resources, but something of everything. We also have 2 modules in business communication. You're expected to have B2 English, but you don't need a certificate. It's just, be aware. The language of teaching is German, and you have a few modules, business communication in English, where you need an advanced level of English. Again, here you can choose a specialization in the higher semesters. So this is what it looks like. You have the first 3 semesters really a big overview. So those 2 are accounting, that's organization of companies, human resources, business law, production and logistic management, taxing, Unternehmenssteuern, that's taxation, some marketing, again here those 2 English degrees, and this here is the accounting part. Not to underestimate is the mathematic part. You see you have a minimum of 1 or 2 modules in the area of mathematics, statistics, stochastics, and business informatics. So that's quite a lot in the first 3 semesters. It's not as difficult as engineering degree, but there's quite a lot of mathematics in the first 3 semesters to be handled. The practical term is your 4th semester here, and then you see you can choose a Schwerpunkt. That's one focus point. You can choose from, I think by now it's 10 or 12 different topics, mainly things you found down here. So you can choose your focus on human resources, or on logistics, or on business law, or on international relations. So that's possible here. And those everyone still has to choose. And again, you write your bachelor thesis at the end. The business degree will give you a very broad insight into anything related to business studies. And usually you find in your practical term, if there's anything that you're really interested in, then you have the chance to choose and to try it out in your practical term. If you always thought that marketing was amazing, and then you're going to work in a big marketing company or agency, and at the end you find, oh no, it's really very stressful, and they are really working only on tough deadlines, then you still have the chance to choose your focus, your Schwerpunkt in something else. So again, 7 semesters, that's our degree. And tourism management is a degree from business. So you will have quite a few of these contents as well. The difference is that you will have more intercultural modules. You will learn 1 further language from the start, from the beginning. That's usually French or Spanish. And of course, you have a few modules where you look at tourism as a business part. Yeah? So it's not about travel and culture and yes, and history, but it's really about tourism as a business factor and how to make business with tourism. One large department is also in applied social science. You can do the bachelor degree in social work, management, social innovation, or in nursing. That's a dual study course where together with the degree in advanced nursing studies, you will do a practical training course for nursing for children or old people. So that's even more practical than the other degrees. Social work is the main degree in this department, and it usually prepares you for working later on with people in an organization, advisory services, anything where people need support, advice, and help. Again, they have 4 study areas where you can choose your degree, your contents, the organization of social work in Germany, who does what kind of political basics have we that organize our social work. You have basics in science, that's education science, or some psychology, some communication science, and also some math and statistics, because social scientists very much like to do polls and like to ask people about the developments, and then in the end you have to work with the statistics to read your things. We have one large area in law and ethics. It's not it's not a law degree, but you will do some basics in work law, family law, of course, maybe some law for foreigners, so that if you're later on in a situation where you have to give advice and where you have to consult people, then you know what kind of legal basics you are based on. And one big part here is the application, professionelles Handeln. Students in this degree are from a very early stage encouraged to, to do little group works together and prepare something. We had one group going to an elementary school and they concluded a film project with them. So they really did it from the start. They found the contact to the school, set up a schedule, what to do, and organized everything. And in the end, they could produce a little film with the first year's pupils there. That was a very nice event. Or they go to school or other social areas and prepare events with them there. Again, here you can choose a special qualification area. So it's either lifelong learning or cultural studies or media studies or public health or work with young people, work with old people. So in the last 2 semesters, again, you can get your specialization here. Similar infographics for each HM program. Well, I would have to refer you to the individual departments' websites. Some of them are very good with putting up these nice infographics and tables, and I love them because it's a nice overview. Some of them will have a long text, long written things here. So unfortunately, I don't have one click to give you everything. You would really have to check with each department what you can find there. If it's a special course you want to, you are welcome to write it in here, and I can see if we can find it. Right now, I have too much sun here in my back, so. Okay, so that's the degrees from the first 3 large departments. We have one small department with not so many students, but it's my favorite one. It's for everyone who is artistically inclined. You can study design here. It's not an arts degree. It's applied arts, applied design. Our design degree has 3 study areas: photo, industrial, or communication design. And you have to decide which one you want to choose from the beginning. And one special extra degree is informatics and design, which obviously is about the design of websites and or apps. You can see that in the first semester, they are very, that's really the only semester where you have theoretical lectures as such. As of the second semester, you have a lot of practical project work. And the building that you can see here is an old building that's been done completely new inside. So they have a photo studio, clay rooms, and everything in the basement. They have really nice light classrooms. They have here at the very top, you can see with the round windows, they have the drawing room where you can sit with a view of the city and be inspired and make your drawings. So it's excellent conditions for an artistic degree. They are really, it's a really great place to study if you are artistically inclined and if you have an interest in that. So those are our degree programs: engineering, business, social science, and design. Anyone wanting to do medicine or legal studies or arts, history, I would have to refer you to one of the big universities. We cannot offer that. Right. How do you apply if you want to get a study place here? If you only remember or take a picture or download these 2 links, then you're already quite good. All information for international applicants can be found at hm.edu/study-hm. And the application itself is done online through Bachelor-Bewerbung. This is in English. The second one is in German, as again, our language of teaching is mainly German. So, what do you need for an application at Hochschule München? The most important thing that you have to remember is that you cannot apply directly with your degree certificates from Ukraine. You always need a pre-check of any certificates through UniAssist. UniAssist do two things for us. They first check if you have university entrance qualification in Germany. So if in general you're allowed to study and which subjects. And the second is important for us because they transfer your grade, your average grade from your school degree to the German grading system. We have a few degrees that have restricted access where the applicants with the best grades will be admitted. So we need your grade transferred to the German grading system, and UniAssist does this for us. The pre-check has to be completed before the application. And I'm sure that most of you know this already, that just with a school degree after 11 years from Ukraine, you usually do not have university entrance qualification, but you have to either study for one more year from a Ukrainian university in the same area that you want to do in Germany, or you have to attend a one-year foundation course at a Studienkolleg in Germany. So that's usually the case. It's just because our school takes 12 or even 13 years. So we cannot admit someone for studies after 11 years already. Our German students would really complain then. But that's important. You need a pre-check of your certificates through UniAssist. You cannot apply for any bachelor degree just with your Ukrainian certificates alone. What else do you need? Language requirements. For the German taught degrees, you need a German language certificate level B2 that has been lowered. We used to have C1. It's been lowered this year to B2. Let me say that with a B2, okay, you can enroll. That's all we ask, but it will be difficult to follow a lecture completely in German only with that language level. So you will have to work on your language throughout your degree, at least throughout the first year or so. But B2 is sufficient. Any certificate at that level, TELC or Goethe Institute or the test staff will be admitted and accepted. You don't need it for the pre-check through UniAssist. UniAssist will only look at your academic criteria. You have time really until shortly before the start of the semester. So if you apply for winter semester next year, application time is from May to July 15th. And you can complete everything without a certificate for German. If you get an admission and want to complete your enrollment, then not only your application, but your enrollment, then we will ask you for the B2, and that has to be completed at the latest by the end of September because the semester starts on the 1st of October. So we're quite generous here and allow you a few more weeks after the application to get your German language certificate done. For the English taught bachelors, you need a certificate of the English language at level B2. And as I said before, in theory, you need German language at level A2 or B1, but they give you until the end of the first or second year, depending on the course, to get to that level outside your studies. So it's then up to you to learn the language to that level, just to make sure that you have some knowledge of German before you go into your practical term. There's no deadline for the pre-check of the documents, but the application times can be found here. If you go to HM Bachelor minus Bewerbung, and also at Study HM, we have the application times, and the pre-check has to be done before that, so that you have everything ready by the end of the application time. But the pre-check can be done anytime independently from our application times. It's important that you have it by the deadline then, but usually you can do it throughout the year, no matter when. Right, so German language we already had. Some of our degrees, especially the engineering degrees, will require a pre-study practice or internship. That's like maybe mechanical engineering or business and engineering. It's between 4 and 10 weeks now. It's been lowered here. But that's really differing from course to course. Most degrees now accept you to complete the internship during term breaks in the first 2 or 3 semesters. But please have a look here at our general information website. Once you decide for a degree, check if you need a pre-study practice for that and by what time you have to do it. So, how are our study places assigned? Many of our courses have open access, like electrical engineering or mechatronics. You apply, you have your pre-check from Uni Assist, you get an admission. You need B2, and then you can complete your enrollment. But quite a few other courses have restricted admission. That simply means we have a limited number of study places. For example, in computer science and informatics, we have 95 places, but we usually have more applicants than that. And in that case, we take the easy road and we just take the people with the best grades. Yeah. So that's what it is. There's no other possibility to improve your grade. It's your grade from school degree, and if you've already done 1 year of studies, then there's a mix of the two. And for applicants from outside the EU, we only have 5% of the study places. So in competitive courses like informatic or business administration, you need fairly good grades to get in. We don't set a minimum grade or something. That really varies every year because it just depends on the number and grades of the other students who apply. And the admission grade, or the minimum admission grade every year, is the grade of the last person who got an admission. So I can't tell you now what the admission grade for any degree will be like in 1 or 2 years' time. On our bachelor minus Bewerbung, again, I refer you to this one, you can find the admission grades of the last semester, just for some sense of orientation. There's only few degrees where you need an entrance exam. That's architecture, design, and informatic and design. For those degrees, you have to upload a portfolio of your own work with your application, and suitable candidates will be invited for an entrance exam. That's usually kind of a practical part where you have to actually do or design something on the spot, and usually an interview with 2 of our professors about your portfolio and your ideas and why you want to study this at our university. But those are the only degrees where there's an entrance exam. For the others, you either have open access or you have restricted admission, and then it's up to the grades of who will get in. Now, unfortunately, I have to talk about money as well. Living costs and fees at Hochschule München. One point is that Munich is, we find, a fairly attractive city. We have 3 large universities in Munich, 2 or 3 smaller ones. And in addition to that, we have many global companies here, Google, Microsoft, Munich Re, BMW, Siemens, who have many high-paying jobs. So there's a chance of getting a good job, earning a lot of money, and of course then being able to spend it on accommodation. But that basically means that there's in general a rather high cost of living, and especially accommodation is hard to find and fairly expensive. So if you take into account about €1,000 monthly, that's, yeah, if you find an accommodation for 500 or 600 euro per month, then you're fine with that, but you can also pay more than that. And there are dormitories in Munich. Hochschule München does not have their own dormitories, but they are run by the student union, the Studentenwerk. But just to give you an idea, we have more than 100,000, about 120,000 students in Munich, and Studentenwerk has 10,000 places. There are some private or church-run dormitories still, but on the whole, I think we will not have more than maybe 15,000 dorm places. Compare that to more than 100,000 students. So I don't want to drive anyone away, but be aware that finding accommodation in Munich is not easy, and you cannot count on getting a dormitory because there are so many people looking for it and asking for it that they usually have waiting times of 2 to 3 semesters for everyone. And unfortunately, we can't provide you with scholarships. There's some small things like, you can get money for books or laptops or software, it's in special cases, but we don't offer a fully funded scholarship. Students have to finance themselves. Study fees I can't tell you anything 100% definite at the moment, but we've been informed by our president of the university that they are planning on introducing study fees as of winter semester 25 for students who are not from a EU country, and those are supposed to be at around 2,000 euro per semester. So, in addition to high living costs, you will most probably have to pay tuition fees as of the upcoming winter semester next year. As soon as we know something more definite, of course, we will put it on the website, but at the time being, that's the information that I have. Right. If you have any more questions after this, or once you really decide to prepare an application, then please don't hesitate to email us at Beratung. You can call us. You can drop in should you be in Germany. And of course, I refer you to the two websites here, hm.edu foreign, that's in German, and hm.edu study -hm, that's in English, where it describes really all the steps of the application process with links to Uni Assist, with links to our application tool, and also with my contact details at the very bottom. And then feel free to contact me directly by email. Admission conditions for applicants from Ukraine. School graduates. Well, if you are graduating from the school in Ukraine after 11 years of school, you will not be able to get admission. You have to hand in and submit your documents to Uni Assist. They will check and they will find out that you will have to attend a Studienkolleg or 1 year of study in Ukraine. If you want to do a Studienkolleg, Hochschule München does not have their own institution here, but we refer people to the Studienkolleg in Coburg, which is a city about 300 kilometers north of Munich, and you would have to stay there for the year. You can register directly for the entrance exam there with the pre-check from Uni Assist. Again, this information is to be found here at the two websites. But with a school degree, no, there's no different admission conditions for Ukrainian applicants than for anyone else with an international degree. Pre-check from Uni Assist, they tell you, can you apply directly or do you have to attend a Studienkolleg? And in the latter case, you have to register directly with Coburg for your entrance exam. Can a student enter university after 12th grade of gymnasium? I thought you had 11 years at the school, so I'm a bit confused now. If you're talking about Germany, that differs. We have some parts of Germany where you have 12 years of schooling, but Bavaria is one of them where you have 13 years of schooling to get to Abitur. So if you're at a German, yes, you have 11 years. And Julia was asking if you can enter after 12 year. So if you do not complete the gymnasium, then in Bavaria, you're not allowed to study. There's some countries within Germany, one of our counties like Berlin, then you can even study after the 12th grade. Voss is not a gymnasium. Voss is the Fachoberschule. This usually takes 12 years. And with 12 years from Voss, you can apply to any University of Applied Sciences. If you want to go to a university, then you need Voss 13. You need 1 more year of Voss as well. But that's the difference. Okay. Oh, okay. I was told that it would be better to do the degree in English. Feel free to contact me directly. Edu Foreign is the website in German. If you have any questions, just contact me. My contact details are there. Okay. So, but back to the school years. So it's Ukraine is 11 years. You need 1 more year, either Studienkolleg or university in Ukraine. A German gymnasium. In Bavaria, it is 13 years. And if you drop out after 12th year, you will not get university entrance qualification in Bavaria. In some other places, it might be possible. And the FOS, Fachoberschule, that is 12 years. Yes, you can then study at any University of Applied Sciences. And if you want to go on to a university from FOS, you need 1 more year as well. It's a bit difficult because education in Germany is not centrally organized, but every one of the Bundesländer can decide on how to arrange its own education system. So what I'm telling you here is about Bavaria. It might be different in other areas of Germany. Right. Are there any more questions? If anyone wants to ask something in German, of course, that's fine as well. Danke, Irina. Okay. So if there's nothing else, we can wrap it up, I think. Okay. Thank you for attending. So I think I've answered most of it. Can school graduates submit documents? Again, only to Uni Assist, and they will pass you on to Studienkolleg or tell you that you need 1 more year university in Ukraine. Right. I don't know if there's any more questions coming up in the chat. I can't see anything in the chat. Okay. Then I think we can wrap it up. If there's any more questions, get in touch with us. We're happy to help. Okay. Okay. There's more. Does university organize international internships for students? Your internship, again, your practical semester is part of your degree. It's absolutely possible to do it abroad, spend the internship abroad, and also, of course, 1 semester abroad. But it will not just be organized. You will have to look for a place yourself. That's usually the case. So we don't do a matching and say, okay, we have these companies, you go here, you go there. That would be too easy. Part of the practical experience is to find the place yourself. If a student from Ukraine graduates from FOS, does he have to pay? I'm not 100% sure. I would say no, because looking at the admission process at the moment, if you are from a German institution, if you do a German degree, then you're treated as a German citizen. And I assume it will be the same with the student fees, but I have not got 100% information about this. But I would assume it's the same. No guarantee, though. Are there student projects that involve collaboration? Oops, now it's getting fast. Companies for products. Well, we have the Munich Motorsports team. We have a student project who develops light airplanes. We have some student products here. But yes, there are. I can only say, but I can't really name something specifically now. In general, our departments are fairly well connected with the companies in and around Munich, and usually it's no problem to get your place in the practical semester, and also with other projects. But again, as with many other things, you have to become active yourself. No one will tell you, oh, I think you can collaborate with this company, but it's always up to students to start something. Right. Then is there an opportunity to obtain a double degree in partnership with other universities in the engineering faculty? Do you mean with... Well, usually you do 1 degree. And we have, for example, in the engineering and business department, there are double degrees with possible with the Chinese university, the German Chinese University of Applied Sciences. That's possible for engineering and business department. With the other engineering departments, you can spend a year abroad. And you can do your practical term abroad. Sorry, but we don't have that many double degree programs, to be honest. The process of applying for accommodation in student homes, have any specific requirements? Well, if you want to register for the student dorms, you must at least have applied for a study place. So with us, if you completed your application and uploaded your documents and sent everything off online, you will get a confirmation of your application. And with that, you can already apply for one of the student dorms. But apart from that, well, renting, housing, specific requirements, it really depends on the landlord. And of course, you have to be careful if you don't make any payments from abroad. Yeah, so that really shouldn't be the case. We've had some bad experience with scamming in this case, so don't pay anything from abroad. What courses are included in the media design program? It's not media design, it's informatics and design. And they have basics in computer science, coding, programming, of course, you get, but also in design, especially with interface, usability. That's the main part of what you're doing. And also informatic and design has, in the 4th semester, I think, the focus on artificial intelligence and human and machine interaction. So that would be the main thing here. Yeah, so it's not media design, it's informatic und design. Or if you're talking about communication design, that's part of the other degree, then that's, you know, anything that surrounds us, advertisements, newspapers, anything that has communication in written form that surrounds us. Right, oh, there's more coming in. Ask more about computer science specialty. Well, the admission requirements are, as I said, you need your university entrance qualification. Computer science has restricted access. It's a fairly popular degree. You need a good grade. The German grading system is from 1 to 4, 1 being the best. In the last semester, you needed a 1.9 to get in. So you need a fairly good grade. Just a second, I'll be back. Sorry. So, and the content, the study program was one I'd shown before. Again, maybe have a look at the department's website. I can call it up for myself here. You get the basics from software engineering to software development. You do technical informatics, so that's the hardware bit, but also theoretical informatics. And it's one of those very general degrees that give you a broad insight into the topic, but not so much a specialization. That's only in the last 2 semesters where you can choose something, you know, to your individual interest. And again, the admission requirements, there's no entrance exam, but for informatic, you need a fairly good grade to get in. Student clubs or organizations operate on campus. Every department has the Fachschafts. That's a student body organized by students from that department. And they organize usually the first semester events and parties. They organize scripts or other things. And you can always just join them. They have a room on campus. You go there and you say, I want to be part of this Fachschaft here. And, you know, it's a student body. We don't have student clubs in that sense, like in American or British universities. There are some student projects. for example, the Munich Motorsport team, or the C Lab, that's a computer lab team where they, work on different computer things. I'm not quite sure what they do, but the C Lab is one of the largest clubs on campus. We have a big band and an orchestra that you can just join. Usually you just go to the first meeting of the semester. Sports-wise, we don't have an own sports club at Hochschule München, but for all universities in Munich, there's a central organization at the old Olympic site from the Olympic Games, 1972. And it's open to all students. For a small fee every semester, you can join any sports that they offer. That's Pilates or Zumba or hiking, team sports like basketball or anything. So that's the sports is organized decentrally not organized by the universities, but there's one university sports organization for all students. And you can just join them once you're enrolled, and you have, as I said, you have to pay one minimum fee per semester, and then you can join all different courses. Okay, the next one is a bit difficult. Also Antrag auf Staatsbürgerschaft für alle Familienglieder. Also mit dem BAföG, das muss ich ganz ehrlich sagen, das BAföG ist eine Sache, die nicht über die Hochschulen läuft, sondern nur über das Studentenwerk. Prinzipiell ist es so, Sie können erst dann einen Antrag auf BAföG stellen, wenn Sie die deutsche Staatsbürgerschaft haben. Das ist ja ein Kredit vom deutschen Staat, den Sie da bekommen, den Sie ohne Zinsen zurückzahlen. Und die Regel ist einfach wirklich nur für deutsche Staatsbürger oder für anerkannte Flüchtlinge mit einem anerkannten Asylverfahren und dem Bleiberecht. Aber wenn Sie sich erst für nächstes Sommersemester bewerben möchten, ist ja noch ein bisschen Zeit, oder eventuell fürs Wintersemester. Aber das ist wirklich aneinander gebunden. Entweder ein anerkannter Flüchtlingsstatus mit Aufenthaltstitel oder eben die deutsche Staatsbürgerschaft. Das ist das, was ich kenne. Und wenn Sie die deutsche Staatsbürgerschaft haben, dann müssten Sie ja auch keine Studiengebühren mehr zahlen. Also da hätte man ja da auch schon einen Vorteil. Genau. So, opportunities for interdisciplinary research, sustainable development. We have one fairly new degree, only 2 years now, in the Department of Mechanical Engineering, which is sustainable engineering, where you are looking into mechanical engineering with the idea of sustainability, of a complete recyclable car. Our students have a cooperation with BMW here, where they're trying to really construct a car where all parts are 100% recyclable. So that happens with that degree. Sustainable engineering would be the fitting degree here. The other might be electrical engineering and regenerative energies, where you're also getting into the sustainability area here. So that's a sustainable engineering would be the degree. And as I said, you can also do some projects then with BMW, especially here in Munich. How practically orientated? Well, the undergrad, the first 2 years do, of course, contain a lot of theory, because you need to get your basics in any subject, and that will be theory. But we're trying to get you with little projects to apply what you've learned as soon as possible. But that would be within the department. You have to do some practicum, some practical things as preparation for your exams. Maybe, if you're doing electrical engineering, maybe you have to construct a robot that is then running, where you apply the electrical engineering. Of course, in informatics, it's a lot of programming and coding that you have to do from the beginning. Your second part is opportunities for internships and practical work are provided. I think this is the second or third question, where you ask, what does university provide? A university in Germany provides you with a university degree and with teaching. Anything outside that, you really have to look for yourself. If you're looking for more internships or more practical work, then you have to go out and find it. It's really not that that university will tell you, you can go to this company now and do an internship. You might contact a professor and ask him what contacts he has, and then he says, yeah, this is a good company, you go and apply there. But in the end, the step has to be done by you. That's an important part in the German university system, that you really have to do things by yourself. You can't wait that you are provided with opportunities and everything around it. You get the teaching, of course, that is provided. But if you want more internships or something, go for it yourself. Munich is full of opportunities. There's lots of really good companies around here, but you will have to get there yourself. So we're not telling you go there. We don't provide it. We support you with our career service, where you can get your applications checked, and then trying to support you here. But in the end, it's up to the students to do more than just the coursework. How are the applications evaluated? The selection criteria is the grade, full stop, nothing else. And the evaluation is done by Uni Assist. As I said at the very beginning, Uni Assist is an independent organization, and they evaluate foreign degrees. And that's based on suggestions we get from the German Cultural Ministry. And they say, okay, this is the education system in this country, and this is how we regard a degree from this country. And Uni Assist works with that. So that's it. And selection criteria for the application: if it's an open access degree, you only need university entrance qualification. If it's a degree with restricted access, it's the grade. Applicants with the best grades will be admitted. Cost of meals in university students' cafeteria. Oh dear, I haven't eaten in the students' cafeteria for a long time, but I'd say you can get a good meal for about €5, roughly. And then it's not haute cuisine, but it's filling and it's food. So yeah, around that, I would say, at the time being. Additional costs. Well, that depends a bit on your degree. If you're in architecture, for example, you will still have to buy material for your models and everything. But if you're doing mechanical engineering, the main textbooks are there provided in the library. You might have to buy one or two of the standard books, formulas or whatever. But main thing is provided. Study materials, you need a good laptop with a fast processor. You can get the Microsoft basics through the Hochschule, and maybe you need the one or the other software, for computer-aided design, for graphics or things. But I don't think it's that much, for study material. And in the beginning, maybe you will have to invest €200 or €300, but once you're sorted with the main things, I think there's not that much coming up, apart from normal some pens, papers, and stuff like that. Healthcare system for international students. That's a very good question. You need to be insured in order to be enrolled. There's lots of public German insurance companies, Techniker Krankenkasse, AOK. And if you are in Germany, you have two options. You can either directly start an insurance with them. The student's insurance usually has about the cost of about €100 per month that you have to pay. But in case of illness, you really usually don't have to pay a lot. You can go to any doctor, have most things done, apart from teeth and glasses. That's usually not covered. But then it's fairly okay. If you have insurance, private insurance or insurance from Ukraine, you can contact one of the public insurance and present them your insurance, and they will check if it's sufficient, if it fulfills the requirements that we have, like if it covers what it should cover, and then you can be exempt from having insurance in Germany. But that has to be checked by a public insurance company. So these are the two options. You can get insurance straight away in Germany from one of the public insurers. 100 or 110 euros per month that you have to pay as a student. And or the other option is you stay insured with your Ukrainian insurance, but then a German public insurance company has to check if it's sufficient, and then you're exempt from that. It's a bit of a bureaucratic system, but it usually works okay. The insurance companies know what to do. And again, you can choose any doctor, and many things are covered, not 100%, but most general things are covered then by the insurance. Okay, so that's 5 o'clock. Thank you for all your questions, and thank you for attending, so many of you. It was a pleasure talking to you. I can only repeat myself. If you have any more questions, are interested in studying in Munich, give us a shout, send us an email or call, and we are happy to help, okay? So thank you and have a good evening. Bye-bye.